Nice to him. The man, the myth, the legend. Give it up for Devin!
But before, keep it moving for Kenny, guys. How are we feeling tonight, Douglas? All right, hell yeah. Should I do like 12 more of those things where I make you guys clap for nothing? Quick question, because I'm from Casper. Does Douglas think that like Casper, do y'all think that Casper feels like superior, or like there's this superiority complex that Casper has? Because I definitely feel like Casper has that superiority complex like in their minds, because for some reason like they keep adding more subways or like different versions of Marshalls, and they think like, oh yeah, this puts us above any other town. Like, I'm sure that's kind of a common mindset that towns have about Casper. And it's funny because like I like to measure the quality of towns in Wyoming based on like the crime that the youth are committing. Like, for example, in Douglas or like Rollins, when the youth need to get stuff out of their system, they'll go like graffiti under the bridge and like, draw the word boobs with like 2 circles with dots in them. And like when the kids in Casper need to get stuff out of their system, they'll just go up and fucking stab each other now. It's scary out there. So with all that said, I don't know how to introduce myself. My name is Devin Fulton. Thanks for having me tonight. Quick disclaimer about my set. I know you guys have heard this jingle before. I'm not going to say what the jingle is, but when you hear it, I'm going to point the microphone to you, and I want to make something magical where you guys chant it back to me. You've heard it before plenty of times during the 2000s. I'm just asking, don't let me down. This will happen later in my set. Enough spoilers. Does it feel like we're kind of embracing nostalgia as a nation? Like, Y2K is making a fashion statement right now. People are wearing like the obscure like rhinestone jeans again, and like the Affinity Affliction shirts. I mean, that's always been the thing in Rock Springs. Like, they've never known anything other than tap-out t-shirts. But like, stuff like that is making a comeback, and emo and pop punk music's making a comeback. And I love it, because I loved the 2000s, and we got war in the Middle East going on, and it's kind of slowing down some ceasefires, but I say we keep that shit moving, man. I love this 2000s nostalgia. Like, I want to continue drinking some Surge, feeling all this like Middle Eastern war. Like, let's keep that shit moving. Like, what's it called when a Palestinian lands a kickflip on a skateboard? Radical Islam, dude, fuck yeah. I'm just joking, that's clearly a joke because they don't have skateboards in Palestine, because, the bombs. So with all that said, do you guys mind if I get vulnerable with you for a second?
Sure.
All right, perfect. I'll also take silence. So I'll keep this story kind of brief, but this is my coming out story. And as you know, Wyoming, it's a terrifying state to come out because, we're a very red state. And who do you guys think is the most terrifying person in the family to come out to? Dad, definitely. Mom always kind of knew, but Dad is definitely the scariest one. And so one day when I got back home, I just finally manned up the courage to tell him. I was like, hey Dad, I really need to talk to you. And he said, son, I'm getting ready to go to work. And I said, no Dad, this is about me and this is important. This is always who I've been. And right then and there he's like, just tell me, son. And I saw that look in his eyes that Josh Allen has in his eyes every time he's watching his defense try to get him the ball back every January. I saw that impending look of disappointment on his face. And I said, Dad, this is who I've always been, and I just need you to accept me for who I am. Dad, I'm a liberal. And my dad, he said, God damn it, no son of mine! I didn't raise you this way. I don't know where this happened. You're just confused, Devin. When I was your age, I experimented with soy milk too. And I said, no, Dad, this is really who I am. I'm using my political identity to change the world. And he said, oh yeah, how are you gonna do that? And I said, well, I'm just gonna fucking complain about everything. And then my dad at that point, he's like, I'm just fucking with you, son. I always knew you were a big pussy. So my dad's hilarious. No, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm bald as fuck, dude. And I'm fine with it now, but I'll be honest, it sucked going bald at age 19. Let me tell you, because age 19 is kind of like the first pivotal age of getting puss. And meanwhile, I just like lost all my confidence. I was just watching myself die in the shower, turning into Walter White. And, it did a lot to my confidence. So I had to work on my charisma techniques, which is a sad thing to do at that age. I thank the high heavens, though, that my girlfriend is a social worker and an angel, because one day on a somber Sunday afternoon, I approached her and I just said, "Hey, yo, girl, you want this Make-A-Wish dick?" Don't worry, I donate. My poor lady, though. My poor lady, I realized she's never gonna experience that romantic feeling again of, playing with her man's hair when I go down on her. Instead, she just has to palm my shit like a basketball. She hits me with the, wow, Michael Jordan. And, she has to see her face off my shiny dome at an unflattering angle, her double chin, looking down at that angle. But I'll be honest, man, being bald, it makes me very insecure, and very insecure in the bedroom, because, by the time we're done, or we're finishing up, I'm sobbing. And my girlfriend, though, she tries to cheer me up, she's like, "Don't worry, babe, sex with you is like a movie." And I'm just like, "Really, what kind of movie?" And she says, "Well, when you're crying and coming, it's like a tearjerker." Bazinga. No, I'm trying to better understand my girlfriend and what women go through, and so I've actually been transitioning my middle name, and now I go by Devin Marie Fulton. And it's pretty cool. Ever since I made the switcheroonie, I've noticed I actually understand more of the feminine psyche. For example, when I go to the gym now as Devin Marie Fulton, I do lots of cool things, but my bros don't understand. For example, my gym bros come up to me and they're like, "Hey, you ready to hit arms today?" And I'm like, "Psh, nah, man, I'm gonna hit Kegels." And they're like, "What, don't you want to be able to bench 300 pounds? Like, psh, no, I want to be able to jump on a trampoline and not piss myself." "We got any squirters in it?" And I'm just joking. But no, I still got that dog in me, and so I still size guys up when I'm in the gym, but the difference is I'm doing the hoe workouts. So I'll see a guy loading 300 pounds on the bench, and I'm like, "Take this motherfucker," and I'm loading up 300 pounds on the hip thrust machine. And I'm just matching all of his grunts with my moans, so he hits the, and I hit the, ah! It's a pretty tight sequence in there. I'm talking about my Kegels, of course. No, and as Devin Marie Fulton, I also don't watch porn anymore. I watch Hallmark movies. And I gotta put my foot down, though. We need more gender diversity in the white terrorist department. We got too many white boys shooting up schools, and I think it's time we get the Karens involved. Kill two birds with one stone, how sick. So first off, how in the Middle East when they do a suicide bombing, they'll scream Allahu Akbar before blowing shit up? Well, how sick would it be if we got bombs strapped to a Karen's chest, sent her into I don't know, a wind farm or Ticketmaster's headquarters or the University of Colorado, and with bombs strapped to her chest, she just goes in and screams, "Live, laugh, love!" and blows that shit up. And when she presses the detonator, it makes the same beeping noise as a Subaru. Beep, 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 beep. It blows it up, and there's just turquoise flying everywhere. No, I'm dropping lots of nonsense on y'all, and honestly, we're living in pretty bleak times. You go on Facebook or whatever, Instagram or social media, and all you see is just bad news. We got a crazy drug epidemic going on, and it's to a point where we're actually putting up billboards telling people to stop doing drugs, even though they're fun. My favorite billboard is actually right here in Douglas. You guys know what I'm talking about. I love that billboard when you're driving just south of town, and it says, "This much fentanyl can kill someone," and it's got the penny on it. But the problem is the penny is the size of the fucking billboard. Come on, man, that's a lot of fentanyl to do. I need an eating disorder to overdose at that point. No, and back in our days, we had the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and nowadays we have the unpaid body dysmorphia park rangers. Shit's just kind of lame. Everything is super sexualized now, too, I was shopping at Walmart, and I was in the frozen aisle just looking at some deals, and I was like, holy shit, they're selling ribbed corn dogs. I mean, 2 for $5, that's not a bad deal, but come on, ribbed corn dogs? Just insane what we're dealing with nowadays. But we gotta lean into our joys, we have lots of cool stuff going on. The Princess of the Year is brand new, and they're already booking comedy shows and bringing in lots of entertainment to Douglas. How cool is that? Or like, we got the Ford Wyoming Center in Casper, and they're actually bringing in artists like Hosier, or like anyone here gonna go see Benson Boone when he comes here? See a guy front flip and like grab his crotch? No, it's cool. Like they're booking artists other than Tech Nine every year, which like hell yeah. There's nothing wrong with Tech Nine's music other than it fucking sucks. Like Tech Nine, he makes music for guys that are like, I'm not racist, my wife has a black eye. So he makes music for guys that live in Glen Rock, No, speaking of Casper, you guys remember that one abortion clinic that we had in Wyoming and it got burnt down? If you don't know, let me contextualize. In 2022, this woman in Laramie just woke up in a dead panic in the middle of the night, had nightmares about this abortion clinic, abortioning or whatever, and she sped to Casper, dead panic in the middle of the night, went in, broke in, somehow knew how to like burn that shit to the ground, and then just drove back home. And my first question is like, we've all done a shameless hookup and you have that like post-nut clarity drive where things start making sense on your way back. What happens with post-arson clarity, And, but aside from that, it took her forever to get arrested. And my favorite thing with the arrest articles is there was one specific article. I mean, first, all the news articles, just reported straight facts. But one article said she was identified by her receding widow's peak. And that's such an unnecessary detail in AP style, And that tells me that person writing the article, they're probably like so close to going into that clinic like the next day, and then she ruined her chances. And so when she was writing it, she was just like, fucking ugly bitch. And then just hit send. No, crazy world of politics we live in. Do you guys pay attention to like our local state politics? I mean, probably not really. We'll go to the voting ballot and we're like, who the fuck are these people after like that first line? I miss when our senators though were like more boring and like weren't trying to be so polarizing on Facebook Reels or what have you. And I also miss when our state representatives, they learned how to walk correctly. Because, just a couple years ago, this is how they would walk, just good evening. Or like however white people walk and just like all polite, And now this is how our state representatives walk. I hope you guys know who I'm talking about. Our state representative that got caught for drunk driving in Buffalo. 2 open Michelob Ultras in his car, and he used the ultimate Gen Z white girl defense for why he drinks and drives, which is because he has anxiety. It's like, or you could just man up pussy and drink better alcohol. No, something weird about myself, you guys. When I moved back to Wyoming, I tried joining a swingers club in Casper. I just wanted to meet some like adventurous people and people that learned that were just laid back and knew how to have fun. But I realized the hard way what swinging is when I was the only one at the playground swing set for the 7th time, and I was like, where the fuck are these guys? And then I learned what swinging is, and I was like, oh shit, so I just gotta join the running club. So anyone else experience this feeling where every day you walk into your work, you just feel like everyone's gonna corner you and be like, you fucking suck at your job, you dumb bitch, you're fired. Like anyone else experience that feeling of imposter syndrome? Yeah. It sucks and it's terrible to have in your brain, but I found a solution through exposure therapy. And so I actually have this audio tape that I put in headphones, and whenever I walk around, it's just for an hour straight, this guy going on for just nonstop for an hour, just saying, Devin, you big bald bitch, you dumb pussy, give it all up, dude, I fucking hate you. And it's just hardcore, helps me out though, and the best part about the audio service is it's completely free because it's just a voicemail from my dad. Which hell yeah. No, and it's pretty cool because, through exposure therapy, I definitely feel a lot more confident because I'm no longer sobbing in the bedroom. Instead, I'm actually speaking up when my girlfriend tells me to, During the act of coitus, she'll be like, come on, babe, speak up, tell me what you want. And right then and there, mid-thrust, I just hit her with the, I have a structured settlement and I need cash now. Hell yeah, thank you guys. We're sponsored, by the way. You can check the cameras there and there. No, that was fucking dumb, so we'll just pivot on from that. A few more for you guys. I'm curious, Douglas, do you guys have lots of Teslas or Cybertrucks roaming around? Any? Hell yeah. I mean, if you like those, not bad. But I won't say anything political about Elon Musk's bitch ass, but I will say this. Guys that drive Cybertrucks definitely arch their backs and they got spanked as a kid. All right, just a couple more for you. Who here remembers NFL legend Michael Vick? Yeah, good. For some reason, people always loved clapping to that one. Silence is the correct answer to Michael Vick. For those that don't know, Michael Vick was drafted in the NFL in 2002 and was taking the NFL world by storm because he was like the Lamar Jackson of his era, and he was just running all over defenses and took the Falcons to the NFC Championship game in 2006. And he was just taking the NFL world by storm. But then all of a sudden in 2007, he got arrested for dog fights. Led to lots of deaths of pit bulls and gave pit bulls an even worse reputation than Pitbull the artist. Totally fucked up, but he got what he deserved. But guys, I'll be honest, it's been 19 years since Michael Vick did the thing. I say we let him do it again. But instead of with real dogs, we give him the furries. My only question about furries is like, when's the first symptom? And I have to imagine father and son are playing catch and dad pats his son on the back. He said, "I'm so proud of you, son. I don't tell you that enough." But as the dad's patting his son on the back, the son starts lifting his ass in the air like a cat. So, we got any furries in here? No, I'm just joking. I'll point a red laser out. Like I said at the beginning, I just miss the simpler days, guys. Everything is just so over-convoluted and overstimulating, who here likes St. Patrick's Day? Whoa, it's my favorite holiday because the only thing you really have to care about is just wearing green. Because, going to school growing up, what would happen if you didn't wear green in elementary and middle school? Exactly, you'd get pinched. And, even worse in the schools I went to growing up, if you wore red on St. Patrick's Day, there would be those weirdos that would go up and kiss you. Fuck, I miss being homeschooled. All right, hell yeah, I've been Devin Fulton. Thank you guys so much. Next up, make some noise. I'll take some noise. Make some noise for Ethan Everhart. He's toured all across the country, and he's got the sickest workout angles on Instagram. Make some noise for Ethan, everybody.
Thank you. How you guys doing tonight? Let's get a little more energy. How are you guys doing tonight? Yeah.